What I want to share with you today is a little bit around my personal experience of doing the Scene course by Emma Rose. And so, if I could honestly describe the Scene course in like one sentence, it would honestly be a breath of fresh air. Because where I was at the very beginning is I was kind of in this place where all of the noise in the online business space was feeling very overwhelming to me. There was a lot of things that were kind of being put out there online around the things that you should do or the things that you really have to do to gain success in your business. And from trying different things and some things working, some things failing, some things feeling completely out of alignment and integrity with me, it was that I was in a place and in a position of feeling quite exhausted and overwhelmed with what to even do, like where to even go next. And so when I came across the Scene course by Emma, in all honesty, at the start, I did have some reservations about signing up for it because I'd done so many other courses and things like that in the past. There was some hesitation around like, is this going to be just another course? What I really want to tell you is that this is not just another course. Like, it really isn't. I do want to say that it is not for everyone, because what it definitely isn't is any kind of like 10-step plan to success or any of these things around like instant six-figure businesses or 10K months or anything like that. What this is a real reset and realignment to bring you back home to yourself so that you can really tune into how do I actually want to do business? Like what way of running my business would feel really good to me? And if I actually tap into my soul voice and my intuitive knowing, what actually feels like the right next step to me? And are all of these things that I've been doing in my business so far even working for me? Have they ever been working for me? And do I actually want to change that so that I can run things in a way that feel much more aligned and true to who I am? And so one of the things I will say about Emma is, and I've told her this before, is that I find her very enchanting and almost mystical in a way. And when I first read the Scene sales page about what the course was about, I found it quite ambiguous. I found it really intriguing and I really wanted to know what all of this was about. But the actual idea of making the investment into something that felt quite ambiguous was a big deal for me and was an incredibly brave move for me to make personally. But honestly, I have no regrets because I was blown away by the incredible content, the impact this course has had in the way that I have now shifted and changed things in my business and continue to let these lessons land and shift and change as well, that the investment was far worth it and more for me. So within the course, you'll find that it is predominantly actually audio tracks. There are some videos to watch and there are some PDFs and things like that to read through. However, predominantly it is audio tracks of Emma speaking. And honestly, it was probably the best way that it could have been set out for me and designed, because it meant that I wasn't having to intentionally carve out specific time to work on this course, or, really, it didn't ever feel like a chore to sit down and work on it, because what I was able to do was like pop my headphones in at any point, go for a walk and listen to the audio tracks, or do it whilst I was cleaning the house. So it was a really beautiful way for me to interweave it into my everyday life, without physically having to feel like I've got to, make the time in my calendar to really sit and work on this. Yes, maybe for some parts, but the majority of the content can just be consumed and interweaved in your everyday life, which was perfect for me. And so this course it's a huge reset. It's a huge soothe to your nervous system. And it really gets you to think about doing business and having a business in a way that feels very different to a lot of the narrative that you're hearing out there in the online business space. It's a very it's feminine. It's so beautifully feminine. It really encourages you to embrace more of the feminine way of life, because quite often what we find is that in our everyday lives and businesses, we're constantly in this more kind of masculine state, which is all about goal-getting, achieving, productivity, hustling and grinding and all those kinds of things. And this is like, honestly, like I said, a breath of fresh air. It was like a full exhale to the system. So it really incorporates different ways of doing business like slowing down to speed up, and yes, incorporating rest as part of a business strategy, and really making decisions from a much more intuitive and aligned place. And then even to the point of like being able to redesign some of your business processes and things like that based on what your personal values are and what you actually want to achieve. Some of the most significant parts of the course I found were almost like giving me a permission slip to just do things in the way that felt really good to me, and to really redefine like what success actually looked like to me, and whether running my business in this way that everyone was telling me to run it actually felt good to me. Did that feel like success at all? And what I found was that it didn't. When I really got clear and true to what felt good for me, all of these ways that I was being told it had to look, or the things I should do, really didn't feel good or in alignment for me. As I said, this course is really like a huge permission slip to just really tune in, come home to yourself, and do things in a way that feels entirely aligned for who you are as a person, and do things in alignment with what your soul is calling you forward to. As a result of doing this course, what I actually found in my business is that I actually made a complete pivot, because I was for a long time being called towards helping people in their businesses, but dealing with self-doubt and things like that, that would really tell me that I wasn't qualified enough, I wasn't experienced enough, and who was I to want to help people in that area? This course really gave me the permission that I needed to follow my soul's guidance and do the things that felt really good to me. And as a result, I actually ended up creating 2 new offerings off the back of doing this course, which included a one-on-one offering as well as a group coaching offering, both of which I now have paying clients in. And that's only within a couple of months of creating them. If there's anything that I could say about this course, it is, if you are feeling completely overwhelmed right now, you're feeling like you've tried all of the things and nothing feels like it's working, and you're feeling in some ways exhausted by the online business space, and you're looking for something that is a bit alternative, a bit unconventional, a real different way of doing things, then it is most definitely for you. And I think one of the things that like you can always do is check in, start the intuitive journey right now, check in with yourself, close down your eyes, feel into your body. Like, is this course something that you feel really drawn towards? Maybe you don't even know the reason why, but you just know that something is calling you towards doing this course. I would say trust that. Absolutely trust that. And if you feel like you would love my support through a one-off session with me at the end of doing the course yourself, then you can sign up through my affiliate offering. All of the details are below this video on the page. And I would love to support you in helping these lessons land and integrate into your system, and really feeling into how you want to do business from here on out. So if you've got any questions, I'm always happy to offer any additional support or to answer any questions that you might have. But yeah, if you're feeling called towards it, I would say 100% trust that, because in my experience, I couldn't recommend this course more highly.